Hallo, das ist Now German, Lektion 48, Lesson 48. Hey Sie.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Gregor.
Sie, wo arbeitest du?
Ich arbeite alles. Nein. Ich arbeite in London.
Yes, that is a very good answer. Wo indeed means where. Where do you work? And this can be understood in various ways. So if you get that question, you can sort of decide how precisely you want to answer. You can say a place, you can say a company, you can mention a position. And if you don't give enough information, the other person will just ask some more questions. And part of this dialogue we'll look at today is also a review of what you learned in the first few lessons, but there is a good reason that we look at this. But before we talk more about that, let's just look at our dialogue first.
Hallo, wie heißt du?
Ich heiße Tom. Und du?
Ich heiße Anna. Woher kommst du?
Ich komme aus Deutschland. Und du?
Ich komme aus der Schweiz. Wo arbeitest du?
Ich arbeite in Berlin. Am Montag und Dienstag arbeite ich von 9 Uhr bis 17 Uhr. Du?
Ich arbeite in Zürich. Ich arbeite von Mittwoch bis Freitag.
Yes, so let's just look at all this vocabulary first. Heißen.
Heißen.
That's of course to be called. And wie heißt du?
Wie heißt du?
That's what's your name, or literally how are you called? And then you answer with ich heiße.
Ich heiße.
My name is, or I'm called Gregor in my case. And then we have the question woher?
Woher?
That's a combination of two words. Basically in English it's where from, or from where do you come? And then that's often combined with the verb kommen.
Kommen.
To come. For example, ich komme aus.
Ich komme aus.
Yes, so I could say, ich komme aus der Schweiz. What could you say?
Ich komme aus China.
That's right. And then we have the verb arbeiten.
Arbeiten.
To work, your favorite activity, isn't it? All right, let's continue. Ich arbeite in.
Ich arbeite in.
I work in, and so on. And then some weekday repetition. Der Montag.
Der Montag.
Monday. Der Dienstag.
Der Dienstag.
Tuesday. What's Wednesday?
Der Mittwoch.
That's right. And then we also have Friday.
Der Freitag.
That's right. And the hour or time is?
Die Uhr.
That's right. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, once more this dialogue.
Hallo, wie heißt du?
Ich heiße Tom. Und du?
Ich heiße Anna. Woher kommst du?
Ich komme aus Deutschland. Und du?
Ich komme aus der Schweiz. Wo arbeitest du?
Ich arbeite in Berlin. Am Montag und Dienstag arbeite ich von 9 bis 17 Uhr. Du?
Ich arbeite in Zürich. Ich arbeite von Mittwoch bis Freitag.
Yes, and there is a good reason why we do this repetition. In this lesson, we look at regular verbs, and it's a good time to do that because now you know several verbs, and so you can understand why we are talking about these rules. Do you know what is a regular verb and why a verb is regular, see?
Regular verb, I think. What does that mean by regular verb?
That's exactly a good question. So if we have verbs in German, every verb, it has a verb stem. So for example, here we have three verbs, kommen, arbeiten, and heißen. And the verb stem is what remains if we remove the last two letters, en, or in English, en. So for example, kommen, the verb stem is komm. And arbeiten, the verb stem is arbeit. And heißen, the verb stem is heiß. And we call a verb regular if this verb stem remains the same during the whole conjugation. Ich, du, er, wir, ihr, sie. It always remains the same. So for example here, kommen is a completely regular verb in the present tense as you see it here. How about you conjugate kommen once?
Ich komme, du kommst, er kommt, wir kommen, er kommt, sie kommen.
That's right. And now regular verbs, you could think it's very easy. You always add these same letters, but there are some additional rules you should know to form the regular verbs correctly. So if you have any regular verb that ends with, or where the stem ends with D or with T, you add an additional letter E in some conjugation, and you see they're highlighted here with red. So for example, what is du and arbeiten?
Du arbeitest.
Yes. So if you don't add that E, it would be du arbeitest. And that's really hard to pronounce, right? That's why German speakers like to add a letter E here. And the same with er. How about the er and arbeiten?
Er arbeitet.
That's right. And you might know that the third person singular er and the second person plural ihr, typically they conjugate the same way. I mean, there are exceptions. There are exceptions for everything, but in regular verbs, they tend to be the same. So how about you plural work in German?
Er arbeitet.
That's right. So there you add the letter E. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. And then there is one more change that you need to know. That is when a verb stem ends with S or also SZ, then in the second person singular, which is du, we do not add an additional S because the S is already there. So for example, you are called, how I say that? How do I say that?
Du heißt.
Yes. And of course, you wouldn't say du heißt. It would be kind of weird. So in some sense, it's obvious, but you need to know that this conjugation is a bit different. So that means du and er have exactly the same. Du heißt and er heißt. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. And that is all that you need to know about regular verbs for now. There are two other small rules, but those are all only relevant for more rare verbs. So this is all you need to know for A1 for sure. And in next lesson, we will look at irregular verbs. Let me just check. What are regular and irregular verbs again?
Just the stem of the verb won't change when when the verb is changing with the gender.
What is that? Is that irregular or regular?
It's irregular.
Yeah. And what's the verb stem?
Just the first several words that I don't know how to say it is.
It's all the letters except the last two, an.
Okay.
Yes. All right. I think that was enough of a challenge. Shall we look at the dialogue once more?
Yes.
Okay.
Hallo, wie heißt du?
Ich heiße Tom. Und du?
Ich heiße Hannah. Woher kommst du?
Ich komme aus Deutschland. Und du?
Ich komme aus der Schweiz. Wo arbeitest du?
Ich arbeite in Berlin. Am Montag und Dienstag arbeite ich von 9 bis 17 Uhr. Du?
Ich arbeite in Zürich. Ich arbeite von Mittwoch bis Freitag.
Be careful, the name here is Anna, and what you said is Hannah. That's also a name, but it's a different name, so don't confuse them, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that was Wo arbeitest du? And if I ask you again, Wo arbeitest du? Will you stay with the same answer?
Yes. Ich
Which is?
arbeite in London.
Yes, exactly. Great. All right, then we'll leave you with that, and good luck conjugating verbs. I know this takes a lot of time, but keep practicing and you'll get fluent over time. All right, see you in the next one. Tschüss.
Tschüss.